An enemy. Just up.
Should you download Apex Legends? That depends. If you're looking for a game that's a revolutionary battle royale, this game kind of falls flat for a few reasons. However, if you're looking for kind of a battle royale that mixes it up, and isn't one of the popular battle royales, then this does add a few interesting gameplay mechanics that make it kind of interesting and worth the download. It is free, so when in doubt, give it a try. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and go into some gameplay and a few tips and tricks of how to start the game. Now right off the bat, the game does kind of spawn you into a weird way. The way the game starts off is it does a random system of who gets to pick first, second, and then third, and then you kind of just pick your hero. Now the game kind of is a mix between Overwatch and Fortnite, and it's not a horrible mix. There are a few flaws with it, mainly with the mobility part, and that just leads to it doesn't flow as much as the original Titanfall did in certain aspects, and it would be nice if they kind of brought the Titanfall 2 movement mechanics into the game.
This is your champion.
Here we go. I'm the jump master.
Now what's nice is when you first start the game and you're going to jump in, you actually are randomly picked depending on which team member as the jump master. And the jump master has control. Essentially the entire team will follow the jump master unless you like to break off and land somewhere else. And I usually just relinquish this just because I don't really have any preference of where we land.
Let's go here.
Now what's nice about this game is it's very, very easy to communicate with your teammates with very minor button presses. There were a couple times where I was hitting the wrong button and pulling up the wrong menus, and you'll kind of see that in this video. However, once you learn the gameplay and the mechanics, it's very easy to point out items, point out enemies, and so forth in the game, so it's a great way to communicate with other team members. Now the slide feature works great, and it's kind of built like the Titanfall and Titanfall 2, where it's all kind of momentum based. So it is kind of nice to have that into the game. The momentum based movement is kind of what makes this game stand out. Fortnite tends to be a little bit slow. It's not the fastest paced moving game besides the building aspect. So that was kind of nice of them to add the aspect of where it's more the mobility and speed. However, there is no wall running like the original Titanfall or Titanfall 2. And hopefully they'll add this in the future. The maps that they have added don't really make it easy to do that, so it wouldn't make much sense as it is right now. However, if they added a close quarter map or some different type of map, wall running would be great. It would be a great feature. There could be other add-ons like in Titanfall 2 where you can have wall hang and so forth. But this game was just released today, so there could be things added in the future, and this game could be completely different in a couple months. Now, I did say it was free. There is, however, loot crates and cosmetics. However, you don't need to purchase them. It's kind of like Fortnite, where it's just for looks. It's not for anything else. And you do get them free as you level. I've gotten 2 or 3 so far, and it looks like it's just a random based loot. I got a skin for a character, one of the characters you have to pay to unlock. So it looks like it's kind of just random based loot. Now what's nice is it's just like every other game system. You pick up loot, swap loot, you can add attachments and so forth. Now when you're going downhill, you can actually slide downhill and go faster with your slide. It will build up more momentum. Now this is a respawn hub, And what that is essentially if one of your teammates is downed, you have a certain amount of time to actually grab their banner and go to a respawn point. And if you get to it in time, they will respawn and they will have none of their items or anything like that. However, they can go back to where their body was and gather the rest of their gear. Now each legend does have its own perk and preferences and playstyle. The one that I am playing right now is actually the Guardian, and he is kind of like a tank guy. I'm probably butchering the name, haven't learned the names really yet, but he essentially has a, when you aim with your gun, the shield pop up. So this is a loot crate. So this is a shield you can throw down as my character to actually block incoming damage. Now you can loot through other players and take their items just like every other game. However, if you spend too much time like I do, you can actually end up being at a disadvantage and being attacked. So that is one of the tips and tricks, is don't spend too much time looking through other players' loot until you have your other teammates around you, until you've secured the area. Because like this guy just did, you can kind of sneak up and get people that way as well. Now this is where I'm actually down, so I could have been revived, however I wasn't, so now you have to wait for the recovery. And if you're not recovered, you're out of the match completely. However, if a teammate recovers your banner and then respawns you, then you can come back into the game. Now a little tip and trick is try not to be terribly annoying. I mean, every player is different, but you can hit X for PlayStation 4, I'm pretty sure it's A for Xbox, but I could be wrong, to ping where your body was so your teammate can go pick up your dead body. However, I say be cautious of this because it does make an audible noise and flash on their map, so I try not to be too annoying with other players. However, that's kind of up to your own discretion. Now what you'll have to do is you'll pick up the banner, and once your banner is picked up, you can actually ping the nearest respawn beacon, which is what I just did, and it shows onto the player where the respawn beacon is. And what they have to do is they have to actually go to the respawn beacon, wait a few seconds while they do the respawning, and then you're free to hop right back into the game. Now the speed and the movement does feel a little faster. It doesn't flow as much as the Titanfall and Titanfall 2, however, that mainly has to do with because there is no wall running. Now one of the biggest issues of the game that a lot of people were upset about was there is no Titans. And I see why there aren't any Titans in this game, and while it would be nice to see, it's kind of unnecessary in my opinion. The reason being is that in Titanfall and Titanfall 2, the Titans were a fun few-minute break. They were great for players. However, they didn't really do much. They did high damage, but they were very vulnerable, and if you knew how to play as a good pilot, you could easily take them down. So it was kind of just a fun breakup of the game, so to speak. And the movement of the pilots is what really was so great about the original Titanfall games, in my opinion. The wall running, sliding, all of that was a great feature, and hopefully, since they are just starting, those things will get added eventually, along with maybe some more legends as well. However, everything is kind of free, and interesting enough, you can craft most things. I haven't gotten all of the items to craft stuff. However, you can craft quite a few skins and other items as well. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and let you finish watching this video if you want. There's not really any major tips and tricks to give right now. Each legend has its own play style. You kind of have to just learn how to play yourself and figure out what you like, what you don't like. But it's a very easy game to pick up, especially if you played the original Titanfall. You'll find the movement very similar, and it's very easy to get a kill or two and get the feel for the game. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and finish up this video, and if you like this video and subscribe. If you like, dislike, tell me why. There will be more videos coming in the future. future with more of this game. Since it is just starting out, I wanted to go ahead and release just an initial video with thoughts and opinions, and later on do an actual video of gameplay, tips, tricks, and all of that. Have fun playing, and enjoy the new Battle Royale.
I'm down, brother.
Recharging my shields.
Listen up, squad down.
Have to stop.
Setting shield, healing ya.
Thank you.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
I need help.
Shield up.
Taking a moment.
I need help.
Taking a moment to heal. Healing my wounds.
Join some cover for my brothers.
This way.
Heard that.
I am taking fire. I am Bloodhunter. Taking a moment to recharge my shields.
Warning. Ring movement in progress.
We get some good news. We're in the next ring. Gotta heal. Taking a knee.
Attention. Delivering care package.
Looks like a care package is coming in. Big
Gotta heal.
Bless me with sight. Taking a moment to recharge my shields. Knockdown shield here. Level 1.
Round 3. Beginning ring countdown.
Thanks.
Target over there.